This week, I want to remind you of something powerful. Even God's prophets, the ones who performed miracles, the ones who heard His voice clearly, still faced deep trials. They felt fear. They felt pain. They even felt like giving up. But they didn't, and neither should you. Elijah, when fear meets faith. Elijah had just called down fire from heaven, a mighty victory over the prophets of Baal. But soon after, Jezebel threatened his life. He ran into the wilderness, sat under a tree, and prayed to die. Yet God sent an angel, with food, with water, and with a whisper that reignited his purpose. Friend, even in your lowest moment, God will strengthen you to rise again. Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. Jeremiah preached for years, but so little result. He was mocked, beaten, and thrown into a muddy pit. At one point, he wanted to quit, but God's word burned in his heart like fire, and he could not be silent. When you feel weary in your calling, let His fire keep you going. Daniel, of faith in the lion's den. Daniel prayed daily, even when it was illegal. Because of that, he was thrown into a den of lions. But God shut their mouths. Daniel walked out unharmed. Remain steadfast, and God will deliver you from the jaws of danger. Hosea, obedience through heartbreak. Hosea obeyed God's unusual command to marry Gomer, a woman who would be unfaithful. His life became a picture of God's love for His people. Even in personal pain, Hosea never turned from his calling. Your obedience today can become someone's testimony tomorrow. Habakkuk, trusting God's timing. Habakkuk saw evil rising and questioned God's timing, but he chose to wait. By the end, he declared, "Though the fig tree does not bud, yet I will rejoice in the Lord." Even when you don't understand God's plan, you can trust His heart. Moses, pleading through rebellion. Moses carried the burden of a complaining people. At times, he felt overwhelmed, ready to quit. But God gave him wisdom, strength, and support until the mission was complete. This week, always remember that you are not alone in your struggles. Your trials do not mean you are outside God's will. Faith is not the absence of storms. It's the courage to walk through them, holding God's hand. Verses to meditate on. Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Galatians 6:9. Do not grow weary in doing good. Hold on, your story is not over. God is still writing it, and victory is still ahead.